This video is about having a project on your Mac computer, for example. In that project, you have your files, but it's not yet made into a repository, a Git repository that is. And you have a GitHub account, but you haven't created the remote on GitHub for that project. And your goal is to set up a complete Git and GitHub environment. That's what this video is about. In Finder, I have opened an example of a project with directories and files in it. It is located in the home folder on my Mac in VB Shared Sandbox in a directory called Underdog Zone. On the right-hand side, I have a web browser. In that web browser, I'm going to use it to create the GitHub copy, or it's also called the remote, for the project, the Git remote. So I go to GitHub and I follow the steps for creating a brand new empty repository. I named it Underdog Zone. I made it a private repository and I chose not to initialize it with a README. And there is a good reason for not initializing it with a file, because I want it to be completely empty with no commits. I have a reason for doing that. It's not arbitrary. If you want to get it right, you need to follow the steps that I am taking exactly. Then, after hitting Create Repository in GitHub, I open a terminal window on my Mac and I change the directory so that my working directory is the project folder, Underdog Zone. Then I do git init to start the process of making that project on my Mac into a Git repository. Then, because as I've mentioned before, this project directory already has files in it, so after doing git status, I did a git add with a dot so that it adds everything to the staging area. And then I did git commit like this. So I issued the git commit command and hit enter. And then I went back to the instructions which GitHub so kindly provided for me. Follow these directions. I need to issue this command, git remote add. The first command from over there that I issued was git remote add origin, and then HTTPS and this kind of a URL thing. So here I'm basically declaring to my local Git repository that this GitHub repository is the remote for the branch. I think origin, basically it's the remote for this repository. These words all have special meanings. Git remote add. Okay. Origin, right now I don't remember what origin is. So after adding GitHub as a remote, the next thing is, all right, and then the other one is git push -u origin master. Okay, so I guess origin is like an alias, or it's the name of the local branch, and master is the name of the remote branch. Or maybe the word origin is just a name for this connection between the local repository and the master branch. I'm not sure. Anyways, this is the command to follow. Now I have the Git repository on my Mac and on GitHub. Let's go over here and As you can see, the file that was on my Mac is now on GitHub. So I've accomplished this part of my mission. That's it for this video.